Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of PC Building Simulator. How's your Tuesday going? Hopefully, everybody is having a good start to their week. Let's get started looking at some emails. This first one here says, "Hey, I was trying to play a game on this piece of junk PC and it's too slow. Can you just build me a new one? As long as it can play PUBG, 4K spec, I'll be happy. I need something to take my mind off these finals for a while. I deserve the rest after studying so much for that legal case. Like, did you know the Jackson vs. Costello ruling means the guy's not culpable if he was within 30 feet of a fire exit? He's totally innocent. Thanks, Gus." So Gus wants a PC that can play PUBG at 4K, 1750. I think we can make that happen for him. So let's go ahead and accept that one. Next one here says, "Hello, would you be able to build me a new computer? Everyone is playing World of Warcraft minimum spec except me. Do you think you could do that by tomorrow? I know used parts can be cheaper, but I'd like new ones, please. Intel components are meant to be the bomb. Best, Jeff." It's $1,500 for World of Warcraft by tomorrow. Sure thing, Jeff. So let's accept that one. And the last one we're doing in this episode says, "Hi, I'm very sorry to say that we've had yet another unfortunate incident. Despite keeping my daughter away from the computer, one of my son's friends balanced a can of fizzy drink on top of the case, which of course was then spilled. A great deal of cola leaked inside the computer. We were all anxious that it will be repaired as soon as possible, and I will be sure that this does not happen again. I've also been speaking with my son's teachers and discovered that he has not handed in any homework for some time. Needless to say, I was shocked. He often spends hours on his computer. I asked him about this, and he said the files were all deleted by a virus. Once the repairs are complete, could you please check the computer and remove any viruses you find? My apologies for all the trouble." Yeah, Javid, I believe your son is playing video games. We will take a look. Let's see, this is one that we built. We will take a look at it, so let's accept that one. So for this first build here for PUBG, let's fire up Will It Run. 4K spec needs a i7 7700 and a 1080. All right, so let me get a build together, and I will be right back. All right, so for our first build, we are going to go with the Gigabyte GA AB350M Gaming 3 motherboard, a Ryzen 1600X, an EVGA CLC120, 2 sticks of G-Skill Trident Z, 8 gig 4000 mHz, a Vega 64, 600 watt power supply, 2 terabyte hard drive, a 128 gig M.2 drive, and we're going to put that in the Antec P6 case. All right. So for our next build, World of Warcraft minimum spec. So let's go back over here. And let's go to World of Warcraft. Minimum spec needs an i3 6320 and a GTX 960. All right, so let me get another build put together here, and I will be right back. All right, so for the World of Warcraft build, we're going to go with the Gigabyte H370 Aorus Gaming 3, an i5 8400, a CryoRig M9i cooler, 2 sticks of DFL motivator, 8 gig 2400 mHz, a Zotac 1060 Mini, a Corsair 4 Series, I believe it was a 960 gig SSD, 450 watt power supply, and we're going to put that in the H440 Hyper Beast. So let's close that out, and then what we had this repair. So, okay, everything's in transit. Let's go ahead and order this for next day delivery. Let's go end our day, get our parts and our repair in, and we can get to work. Okay. Let's get our parts here. Let's get this PC that had a soda spilled in it. Let's get these cases put where they belong, along with the proper names. And the Hyper Beast over here for Unlucky Jeff. All right, let's get started with this repair first. I'm assuming it doesn't power. Let's just start pulling parts out and see what works and what doesn't. I have a feeling it's probably going to be the motherboard. But let's check this RAM. RAM looks good. Let's get this cooler out of the way. And the processor. Let's get the rest of these unplugged from the motherboard. Let's get that out of our way. Get the graphics card. And let's pull this motherboard out of the case. Let's take a look here. So the motherboard is definitely broken. Let's take a look at the graphics card. Graphics card's good. We checked memory. Let's check the CPU. CPU is also broken. And we didn't pull the storage. Let's do that as well, just to be sure. Check there. So the SSD is good. We'll just pop that back in. All right, so we need a new motherboard. Was that the Mortoni? Uh-oh, which one was it? Was it the Plus? Let's double check. Probably could have just gone into the email. Just the regular Mortoni. So let's add that. And then, let's see. Oh, it doesn't pull it up once you've taken it out. So I think it was the 6700. Let's add that to our cart. Let's get same-day delivery. Probably should have pulled that power supply as well. Let's get this new motherboard installed, though. Let's get rid of this old one. Get this screwed down. Get the RAM installed as well as the CPU. Let's get the CPU in there now. Let's get rid of this broken. All right. Let's get some thermal paste on there. And let's get the cooler reinstalled. Okay, why don't I have one that says it was used? I'm assuming it's this one. Get the graphics card back in there. Man, I need to do some PC Bay builds and get some of this stuff out of my inventory. Let's go ahead and cable this up and see if it works. We have, is it cyan we had in there? I think so. All right, is everything connected? See if it boots. It sure does. Now, he said he wanted to remove viruses, so let's get a USB drive in there. Let's get our virus scan software installed. And then we can see if his son's been checking out naughty sites as well. There we go. Let's get this running. I'd say there was a few viruses on there. Let's clean that up. Should be good to go now. Let's get this case put back together. I'll get the side panel on. Let's power it down, and we will get it out in the hall. All right. Start working on our 4K PUBG build. I don't know what all we need to get out of our way here, but let's start with that. Let's get our motherboard in. The Gigabyte motherboard. Let's get that out of the way. Okay. Let's get our CPU and RAM installed. This is getting the Ryzen 5 1600X. As well as some G-Skill Trident Z memory. Okay. So let's see. I've got a... I think we can get the cooler maybe up there. Let's put some thermal paste on. And let's see what we can do. There we go. Yep, that'll work. Oh, we could have gone with a bigger cooler than that. All right. What did we have for storage? I think this one's getting a Patriot Scorch and a 2 terabyte hard drive. Let's get that in. Then we can get our Vega 56 graphics card in. Or was it the 64? Nope, it was the 64, not the 56. Then we can get our power supply installed, which is the 600 watt. Okay, let's cable this up. Let's go with... maybe these red ribbon cables, the plastic. So they're nice and bright. That matches the red on the motherboard and the red of the Radeon. Okay. Get a USB drive in. We can power this on or not. Oh, do I need to put the front of the case on, I bet. Get the dust filter on. And the front panel. There we go. Now we should be able to power it on. We can hop into the BIOS real quick. Turn our XMP on. Make sure it's booting from the correct drive, which it is. Wait for it to restart and install the OS. There we go. So this is done. Let's just get it put back together. Guess that just slips into place. Get our glass panel on here. Man, should I change that EVGA to be red like everything else in there? Let's do it. Won't take but a moment. So that's just 255 in the red. So we will go 255, 0, 0. Oh yeah, that matches much better. Nice. All right, let's get this put out in the hallway. And we can get started on our last build for this episode. Let's get these sides of the case off. Oh, this needs to go. Okay, let's get our motherboard in. The Gigabyte H370 Aorus Gaming 3. We'll get that all screwed down. We can get our RAM and CPU installed. This is getting the i5 8400, as well as 2 sticks of this DFL motivator RAM. Let's get some thermal paste on here, and we can get our CPU cooler installed, which is the CryoRig M9i. Let's get our graphics card in. The GeForce GTX 1060 Mini by Zotac. Our 960 gig SSD. And we can get our power supply installed. Nope, don't plug yourself in yet there. Get the PSU mount on. There we go. Alright, let's cable this up. Let's see, what would go good? Let's go back. Kind of a cyan color. See how that would look. Maybe just blue? Well, that could work. See how it looks. Get everything cabled up here. Got some bunch of fans in the front. Okay. So let's get a USB drive installed. We can power this on. Let's hop into the BIOS real quick and just make sure everything is... Don't think we need XMP on. But we'll turn it on anyway. Never hurts. Let the OS get installed. And this one should be good to go. Let's just get this case put back together. All right. Let's get this one out in the hallway. And now we can collect some money. Let's get that out of our way. Let's collect that one. And that one. And the repair. So we leveled up. Got some new parts here. Fractal design. We've unlocked 1070 Ti's. Bunch of fractal design stuff. Alpha cool stuff. Very cool. And we've got some new emails in. So excellent. So that's going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next episode.